So, you see villains and you think, well, maybe there's a reason they are the way they are,
Yeah.
because maybe there's something happened in their past to make them why they are. And
And
that's
I
in
think,
reference to Negan.
yeah, I think the villain in The Walking Dead that really represents that is Negan. Because Negan, he had a troubled past. Because he used to be a teacher and he would use his teachings. Because he said he liked to help people to make them stronger by building them up through fear. That's why he likes messing with people's heads all the time. Because when they're afraid, he gets them to fall in line. And so, because of Negan's tragic past, when his wife Lucille died of cancer during the zombie epidemic, and then she reanimated and turned into a zombie, Negan couldn't bring himself to put her down. And so, Negan went out on his own, and then he encountered his trademark bat, his trademark baseball bat, which he would name Lucille after his late wife. And then that's when he eventually became the leader of the Saviors, and the rest going on with Rick and the war. But there's a new side that changed to him. When Rick locked him up, when he defeated him in the war, Negan started to see the error of his ways, and he adopted a more friendly personality. He actually began helping. When the Whisperers became a problem, Negan started showing more of his good side. He actually became a friend to Rick's daughter, Judith. And he once proved how loyal he was to Alexandria by saving Judith in a storm, which Michonne later thanked him for, although they still kept him locked up. And when Negan was tasked to do chores, like Garden and Gabriel often came to him for advice. And here's how Negan gives advice. He uses the truth to manipulate. And that's what most villains do. They manipulate people by using the truth to get what they want. And so Negan actually stepped up for once, and he actually went to the Whisper camp to confront Alpha. He acted like he was joining the Whispers, but in reality, he went there to prove himself to Alexandria that he was loyal to them. And so he achieved that goal. He kind of swooned Alpha into a relationship with him and tried to make her understand his ways. And when Alpha was caught off guard, that's when Negan had the chance to kill her, and he took that chance, finally proving himself. And he was working with Carol the whole time. And so then Beta found out that Alpha died, and when he found out that Negan did it, Beta was pissed.
So what do you think, when Negan had Lucille, what do you think that was do you think that was an emotional outlet for him?
Yes, I believe that was like an emotional connection to him, because you see him actually start to treat that bat like it's an actual real person. And this really exemplifies this when Rosita took her chance to kill Negan, but instead of hitting Negan, she hit Lucille. And Negan became so furious that Lucille was damaged, he threatened to kill Rosita, but instead of killing her, he decided to emotionally toy with her by killing someone else. So you can now see why. So
Negan... how is the plot growing now that Negan is?
Yeah, Negan's actually.
The tables have turned a little bit, and how do you think Negan's changed?
I think he's really changed his ways by getting people to trust him more, and when he took that chance to kill Alpha, I think he really stepped up, and now he has to help them deal with Beta, the Whisper's second in command.
But if you were in that position and you went through all that with Negan being there in that whole past,
because people don't really trust him because you know what happened back then.
Yeah. So how do you think he will develop as a character?
I think he will develop as a character, and...
How do you think he will develop as a character?
The way I would see it, he will succeed in finally proving himself that he was loyal to Alexandria, and people will start to trust him more. And he will now be renowned as a hero rather than the villain he was back in season 7.
Do you think he's realized what he's done and realized what's important? And
Yes, I think.
what do you think has changed that made him do that?
I think from being, because there was this one scene when he was bonding with Daryl. He said, "When your people locked me up for 7 years, it sucked. I lost everything. Even my memories had bars in them." Because Negan had been locked up for so long that his memory is actually starting to decline as well. And when he got those, and when he looked back at those memories and he saw the horrible things he had done, he realized the error of his ways and was starting to get people to make him believe he's trying to prove himself to be the hero rather than the antagonist. And so I think that's really how Negan developed from being the antagonist to more of a protagonist. Yeah.
Oh, cool. So what are you looking forward to in the end?
I'm looking forward to all the communities uniting together to help fight off the Whispers once and for all, so the Whispers will no longer be a threat to them. And they can now see that Negan has really changed.
How do you think that will help the group?
Well, if you look back and see Negan's abilities back then, you realize that he was very great at being a group leader. So he could and he was a skilled tactician. He could come up with really good plans on how to defeat zombies in large herds. And when equipped with Lucille, he had a massive amount of, when he was leader of the Saviors, he had a massive amount of weapons, which equaled massive strength. So I think those were really the advantages that Negan has. His intelligence and his ability to wield Lucille.
Does he still have Lucille?
Well, not anymore. But one thing about Negan is he is an expert marksman.
So he doesn't have Lucille anymore.
Yes.
So now that he doesn't have Lucille, how do you think he's dealt with that and changed?
I think he's dealt with that because he realizes that he finally has to let go of Lucille now that he really knows that she's gone.
The real Lucille.
The real Lucille is gone, not the bat, the real person. He finally accepted that his wife was gone and he moved on. Yeah, he didn't really make any effort to go retrieve the bat. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Say bye, everybody.
Bye.